Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, a comedian and narcoleptic, and this is a podcast where I invite people into my bed to talk about sleep, dreams, comedy, and life. My guest today is Jeff Arcuri, a stand-up comedian in Chicago. You can catch him every Wednesday night at Laugh Factory for Supply and Demand at 8 p.m. Let's get started with the show.
Sleeping with Sarah.
How'd you sleep last night?
Not too well. I went to bed super late. I was playing video games with Abby Sanchez, who's a comedian, you know.
Yeah.
And then, it was just online, and then I started watching TV. And then I just was up too late, man. It happens, you know.
How late?
5:30, because I woke up super late because I didn't get sleep the night before, so I overslept that night, and my cycles are out of sync.
They're out of sync, yeah?
It's really hard right now.
Is that why you're drinking coffee?
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny. A lot of people, when I interview them, they're drinking coffee beforehand. I think they're afraid they're going to fall asleep.
Oh, bed especially. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What video games did you play?
We were playing the new one, The Division. It's like a shooting game, just online with each other.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too into the shooting games. I'm more into the racing or like the Super Smash Brothers, like the non-bloody,
older school
like
stuff?
Cartoon violence.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the level of violence I like.
I like when it looks like real people are dying. I prefer it.
That's fucked up. No.
I prefer it when I could picture them having a life before that death. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to have a family that misses them every time I kill someone.
So you imagine, like, the flashbacks of their family, like, getting the notice and being
Absolutely.
like, hey, somebody coming to their door, and, like, the wife's crying.
Yeah, and like, even though she died, like, her friends will come up to her and be like, I know he was, like, a bad guy, you know, but he was just doing his job. And then there's a lot of families that probably hate me. How many people I've killed in video games? So many virtual families hate me.
You're hated by many virtual families. Yeah. So you said you don't usually stay up till 5 a.m.?
No, I don't usually. Usually it's like not that late, but I do stay up late, especially if I'm out. I have a tendency to want to stay out, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nighttime's fun.
Yeah, I think, nighttime is definitely... There's fun. More stuff that happens, more comedy, more... I don't know. I guess mostly comedy for us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, past midnight, mostly friendships. Mostly working on friendships, man.
Yeah, all of our friends have late night things, so if you have to get up early, it's kind of like your social life is over.
Kind of. Nah, not really. Not too much. I mean, there's a lot of people that leave at a decent hour, and I still consider them really good friends. You know what I mean? Like, but there are people that I only hang out with at night. You know, I've noticed that.
Or people that you only hang out with after a certain time.
Yeah, that's when you know what your relationship with that person really is like. You know. Yeah,
if you're like, oh, I only hang out with this person after midnight.
You know, it's not that. It's when they message you like during the day, and you're like, you look gross. You know, like, no, I'll see you later. I feel like I sound like a shitty person, but like, I don't know, just like the people I've met, just, you know, I've just my drinking friends that are whatever. I feel like I'm defending something I don't need to defend, so never mind.
I don't know. No worries. You've been doing you do a lot of comedy at Laugh Factory and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You travel too to do that, right?
Yeah, to do
to do comedy.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I get to travel every now and then, which is very, very fun. It's slowed down a little bit in the winter, which is weird. It usually picks up at that time, but it slowed down a little bit in the winter. But then it's picking up now, which is nice.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Keep him busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to Oregon in a few weeks.
I've never been there.
Neither have I. But the guy, it's a weird situation. It's like the guy, I'm going out there for one show, but I'm there for 3 days because I have to play golf with them. That's part of the...
You have to play golf?
Yeah.
As part of the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I didn't, yeah. So he's like, bring your clubs. I'm like, I don't have clubs, dude.
Do you golf?
I mean, golf? I do. They're at my parents' retreat. No, they're at my parents' house. at our family, our vacation home.
Father, you remember those clubs that you bought for me when I was 10? Can I borrow them for this?
No way, those would be way too small for me now. I'm 28 years old. I'm a man now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear my 10-year-old
Yeah,
clothes.
you grew 4 inches.
No. Oh, that's funny. It's funny you thought I was 5'4" at 10 years old. I was 3'2". I was 3'2" until I was 25 years old. And then, boy, I had the best summer when I became an average size man.
Yeah, you really ate your spinach there or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
So you golf?
I can. I took it in college.
Like as a class?
Yeah, it was an elective. It was fun though, man. I got to work on my short game. We just play golf every day. We'd meet at a place and then play golf. And
that sounds like fun.
It was free because we were part of a class. We had to walk our clubs. That guy was insistent on it. That we had to walk our clubs. Like, he had to, like, roll them. So that, like, because he's like, it makes you appreciate the game more. And it does because, like, I remember when I golf and I don't have a cart. If I hit a ball, I don't care where it goes because I get to drive with my cart. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, went all the way over there. That's cool. I'm going to get in my go-kart and slide up to it and try and, burn out. So I don't care as much. But when you're, like, wheeling your clubs around, oh, no, thank you. You hit the ball wrong and you're like, son of a bitch, you have to get all your stuff together. It sucks.
That does suck.
Yeah. But it's fun.
I've never really played, and I grew up, like, living, like, on a golf course area, so it's like, we would steal carts all the time and play in the clubhouse and, like, sneak in as kids, but I didn't ever, like, I think I made it done, the drive, driving, practice on a drive before.
Golf is, like, one of the only things you can't play a game of unless you practice a whole bunch first. It's one of those few games. Like, if you're not good at basketball, you just play basketball. And you're like, well, you get it, right? You throw this over there. You can do that.
And you could play with other shitty people that aren't good at basketball, and then you still feel,
Yeah, I mean, it's the same applies for golf. Play with people that are bad, because otherwise that person's going to hate playing with you guys. But yeah, with golf, you have to, like, practice. Otherwise, you go out there and you miss, and it just, like, it slows it down. It's boring. You have to be able to know at least how to hit the ball straight on a 70% level. 50%. 50% is good.
Yeah.
40% is what I'm at. So, like, I'm almost an acceptable golf player.
I've just done putt-putt, and I'm happy sticking to that.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
I mean, I feel like golf, you do a lot in, like, business meetings. Like, if you're, like, an executive or something, like, that's, like, a thing you learn how to do, so that way you can, like, schmooze with people on the golf course or go to the country club.
I feel like instead of doing that, you could just kill yourself instead of that and never do that.
So you really don't like golf?
Not if it's for business. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? Thinking about that. Like, think about, like, oh, I'm going to go play golf for business.
Oh, I dated a dude who definitely, like, he was like, yeah, well, my dad told me I had to learn golf because that's where a lot of business gets done. Like, he was... Like,
wow.
Yeah. I've dated some weird dudes.
Really?
But yeah, no.
His dad, do you know his dad?
Yeah, his dad was like a business
super happy
guy.
that Trump is doing really well right now.
I don't know about that. But the guy I dated was definitely Republican. He was definitely a Republican. But
the guy you're dating was a Republican, and his dad told him he needed to take a golf to learn business, and you think he's feeling the burn.
No, I don't think he's feeling the burn. I don't know who he'd vote for.
No, a woman? No,
he wouldn't vote for a woman.
This is a man who's going to vote for a man that don't take no crap from nobody.
He definitely wouldn't be voting for a woman. He'd probably vote for, Rubio's out, so I guess he'd vote for, I don't know. Like, it's weird. I look back, I have dated some Republicans, which, if they're fiscal Republicans, I get a little bit, but I don't know. But I'm definitely... Did you vote yesterday?
No, I did not.
You did not? What, are you not from here? Are you from this different state?
I am from Michigan.
Oh, gotcha.
I am from, New York originally, then Michigan, and then now Illinois.
Like, upstate or in the city of New York?
It was Queens, and then it was Long Island.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Here's a little fact about me.
Why did you come to Chicago then and not New York City when you were doing comedy?
Because it's closer to Michigan, and Chicago was a very intentional choice. It wasn't due to anything more than if I had a choice of where I wanted to go from anywhere in the United States. Except if I lived in LA or New York City already, I would fly. I would go to Chicago to start comedy. Because, I mean, I'd been doing comedy for about 2 years. And I wanted to go somewhere and get better without the eyes on me of, hey, who the hell is this kid?
Yeah, without the, Hollywood or whatever.
Or, because you can be seen too early.
Mm.
It happens all the time. Mm. But you can't be seen too late. In the words of Chris Rock, stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's... I didn't realize how deliberative a choice that was. Did you move here with anybody or by yourself?
I moved here with Jeff Sheen.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I moved here like 2 weeks before he did. I got the apartment, and they gave it to me early because I was like, hey, I have a job starting. So I was going to sublet because I had my job starting like middle of July, and our lease started on August 1st. So I ended up just getting in here. Then Jeff and his girlfriend came, his girlfriend at the time, and with a cat, and then we lived together for 2 years.
Jeff and his girlfriend and the cat?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, which I didn't know they were bringing a cat. He just showed up with it in a box that was moving, and he just like put it down, and he's like, oh yeah, and he opened it up, and this cat jumps out. It was a cute little cat. I loved it. It was fine, but then him and his girlfriend broke up. Me and him lived together.
Did she keep the cat? Or did he?
She did. Yeah, he neither of us could take care of a human being.
A human being.
Cats are humans.
Cats are people too.
They are people.
Cats are pretty low key though. Like dogs are a little bit more work. So
dogs are.
Yeah, I have a dog. She's staying with my parents right now, but
I could say I would say they're more work. I think it's worth it to have. I don't know. Because you can leave a cat for a couple of days, just leave food out and you're good. With a dog, it's like gonna shit everywhere and cry. And I get that. They're more dependent of a creature, A
lot closer to like a baby. It makes
dogs are?
Yeah, I mean like all the stuff you gotta do to take care of it.
Right, locking it up when you leave the house.
Maybe not that, but like it being so dependent. But they care about you. I mean, I feel like cats don't really care. I think cats are like... sociopaths a little bit. Yeah,
they don't care about anything, but they're too they're not fun. Like that's why I love dogs, man. Like you can at drop of a hat if you have like a fun dog. I've always had those dogs where at the drop of a hat, if you wanted to play and just get nuts, you can with a dog. Cats will sometimes be like, no, only when I'm feeling sassy, only when I want to play.
The dog's like, is that a ball? Is that a ball? Yeah, is that a ball?
You can. Oh, there's a funny ass video on the internet of this dude that watched his dog's roommate his roommate's dog so much that instead of you have keywords for dogs like want to go for a walk and they just flip out because they know those words. Mm-hmm. He changed he just says child porn and his dog just flips out. And so anytime he says child porn, the dog gets excited. That's really funny. I loved it.
My mom trains dogs for deaf and handicap, and we used to have a dog that she had trained to
she trains them to attack them? Or?
No, like facility dogs.
Okay.
And she would train a dog to open the refrigerator door, get a beer, and give it to somebody. Like, we have a video of it. Like, we had a dog that used to be able to do that.
That's awesome.
And she said my dog was too small to be able to open up the refrigerator door. She tried. She taught her to open up a cabinet.
And is it possible your dog was stupid and she felt bad saying that?
No.
Did you maybe have the one dumb dog?
Well, no.
Your dog can't because it's a height issue?
No. Well, my dog was like 19 pounds, and the other one was like a golden retriever. So.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are you the only person in like the arts in your family, or are there people that do other stuff?
My sister plays the piano really, really well. She plays the piano amazingly, and could draw. She's amazing at art. She had several people get tattoos of what she drew, which is really cool. Like that after the fact, she would just draw it. She drew this like big blob thing, that was like it wasn't a blob. I feel like it was like this big. It was big, and it was just all wrinkles. And if you stood back from it far enough, it was like a homeless man putting his head in his arm, and that's what one of my buddies got a tattoo of it on his arm.
You wanted a homeless man tattoo?
No, he did. He already got the tattoo.
Oh, he already got.
It wasn't a homeless. It was more. It was like a representation. I don't know what it was. You talk to her about it. She probably has like 100 words.
But that's pretty cool. Like to make something and someone be like, "That is so cool. I want to put it on my body for the rest of my life."
Yeah, man.
Right?
You know? If someone could make something, then yeah, of course. Ugh.
Do you have any tattoos?
No, I have none.
None?
Mm-mm.
Me either.
I wanted to get one, but I'm so glad I didn't get any of the ones I wanted to get.
What were the ones you wanted to get?
I don't even remember some of them. I remember there was one time I was working, like, I'm going back to my, like, douche days. It's like 21 maybe. And I was working like 65, 70 hours a week. I was entrepreneuring. And I was like running these several businesses. I was just really into money and business and all this stuff. And I wanted, me and my buddy.
You were like a salesy guy.
Oh yeah. For my whole life, I was always in sales and shit.
Were you a shark?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like, were you like really?
You're saying was I a shitty person?
A shark.
Also.
A shark.
Yeah.
Like you're really tough. Like in terms of like you were like always trying to get the deal. You know.
I mean, are you asking me in the sense of like like one of my aunts would ask me right now? Like, are you one of those sales sharks?
No, I just mean like there's this type of guy, and I've dated that type of guy too.
Are you saying
that's like the salesy, like
a liar also, like a bad sales? I don't understand.
Oh no,
What's a shark? I want to know your definition of a shark, because it was so far a shark sounds like, bloodthirsty.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like it more like cutthroat, like the business is the most important thing to you. Like you would do anything to like make a sale.
Yeah, that was my problem, was that I was really, really good at it, but I also hated any business I worked for. If I worked for any businesses, or when I was starting to do my own thing, my thing was we're gonna make a lot of money, but I'm not gonna lie to people, and I'm not gonna like skis my way from getting money from people. Like I couldn't do certain things that other guys could do, like selling a backup Bluetooth to someone. You need a backup. You need a backup Bluetooth. No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. You can just don't waste your money on this bad idea. Like, oh, you need this insurance on this. I can't sell you this. I couldn't do it. So that was my agreement with anything was, I'll make it up for you in sales, but I can't sell people crappy insurance.
Well, that's good. See, that's what I meant. More like the moral compass thing. Like I feel like some people are.
Yeah, and I also hated people I worked with, like those douchey guys. And
yeah.
Stuff. I was one, but I was always like.
You were like the
I'm
less
special. I'm different.
The less douchey of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And did all of them have like douchey tattoos too?
No, a lot of guys I worked with are more clean cut.
Ooh.
I mean. Yeah, not really like tough guys. I don't know. I was a cool kid. I thought I was trying to be a cool kid for a long time, and then when I moved to Michigan, I was not a cool kid.
Oh, you weren't?
Mm-mm. Definition of cool became different out here. Like when I was in New York, I was like a bad kid. Smoking cigarettes.
Ooh, so bad.
Trying out drugs. 13, 14 years old, like hanging out with the bad kids,
Oh, like really? Like doing drugs at 13, 14?
Like just smoking what we thought was, I don't even know if it was marijuana at the time. He found a thing, we tried it, and then I got dizzy, and that was it. So I don't think it was marijuana. But we did that, but we were smoking cigarettes, and we'd hang out, and we'd like, vandalize and steal and shit like that. And it was like on the weekends, like I'd go to my buddy's house, because I had to get driven there with my bike and my mom's van. So like we would have to, like I'd have to like get driven by my mom to go be a bad kid. Like I wasn't even part of that neighborhood. I'd have to like go to that neighborhood to be a bad kid.
I had to do the same thing. Like I lived on like the east side of Louisville, and I would have to go out of my way to either like take a bus from school or like get a ride from somebody to go to the not as good area of town. Mm-hmm. But it was still like, it's still like now it's a hipster neighborhood. Like it's not like a bad area. It wasn't like a bad area of town, but it was bad in comparison to where I lived.
Yeah, same, yeah. But it was, so then, I was a bad kid. But then we moved to Michigan, and I was just like, I didn't like it. Everyone to be cool, which was like, not cool, but like everyone who had money. That was the thing.
Oh.
Where I was in Michigan. So it was like, ugh. So I just became really good friends with the poor kids. And we would just the outcasted kids.
That's hang out. Weird. Yeah, you gotta be. Yeah, that's a weird thing to be. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, there was. I stayed with one of my buddies, Alan. I'd go to his house all the time because he lived close, and we would just always hang out there. That was the first time I smoked weed too. Was at his house, like real weed. And I remember I couldn't move. I couldn't move for like 3 hours, and I just couldn't talk. All I kept doing was like, if you just smile, you can get away with this today, man. And I was just standing there, and then like his mom came in and was like, "Give me some of that weed." And I was like, "This is happening." It was so weird. I think I went off on a tangent. Sorry.
No.
What was I talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah. So this is what I was bringing up. His brother. That was where like Eminem, that area lived. Like you were.
Oh, you were like 8 Mile.
Yeah, like I sold cell phones to Haley Mathers every month.
Oh.
Haley from
like
Eminem's
how
daughter.
old is she?
Now she's like older. She was like 15 when I was selling her cell phones.
How old
14.
were you? So she's a year.
This is a few years ago.
Yeah.
She's like 21, 22 now probably.
You used to sell her cell phones?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
She'd come in every month with Kim or the other person that watched them, I forget, and then their adopted daughter, whatever her name was.
To get a different cell phone?
Mm-hmm. They would just throw down like $800 and get brand new cell phones every month.
Why?
Yeah. She just wanted
Eminem money.
Yeah, I mean, I think her dad is a successful businessman, so.
Yeah. What? Well, if you, like, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so Eminem lives in that area, so then his brother, like Alan's brother, would always hang out with Eminem's cousin, and who would always be at Eminem's house, so they'd always go over there. And then Eminem would always, every time that he would have him over, he'd be like, "Hey, take any shoes you want," because he'd just get all this free shoes. So we'd come back, and he'd always have like 10, he'd have in his closet like 10, 15 boxes of brand new like Jordans or Nikes or whatever it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Xboxes.
Oh man.
Yeah, because he get free stuff, and so he just give it to his cousin's friends.
That is so weird. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, it makes sense. Like, if you get a bunch of free shit, you might as well give it to somebody else that might use it. But
Yeah, heck yeah.
yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna do that, right? Someday.
Yeah, if I ever have an extra Nike Air Jordans or Jordans, heck yeah, I'm gonna give it to all my cousin's friends.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that's cool. Man, no, I didn't realize you were like Detroit, Michigan.
I wasn't.
No.
No, I mean when I was a bad kid, it was in New York. When I moved here to Detroit, it was like suburbs of Detroit.
Ah, suburbs.
Like the movie 8 Mile. Mm-hmm. They don't live. Nobody lives in the bad areas of Detroit because they're from Detroit. Like, oh yeah, I mean, Eminem moved to a safer area.
Clearly.
So that's like the place. He had a mansion.
Ah.
But then he had this other place. Or I think Kim lived in like where I used to worked at a cell phone store, and
Interesting.
yeah.
It sounds very small towny. Detroit sounds a lot smaller than I think of it. But now nobody's.
Well, it's suburbs.
Yeah.
So it's not even like Detroit is Detroit, and then like I lived. The movie 8 Mile is that's
yeah.
you know. And then I lived at like 4 Mile.
Ah.
So if you were in Detroit and you just drove that many miles north, I was there.
Gotcha.
But it was very safe.
Yeah, very
super
safe.
white area. Yeah.
Yeah, safe. You sell cell phones to people and smoke weed in people's basements.
Yeah, that's the life.
Yeah, right? And play video games.
A little bit.
So how much has changed?
Yeah.
Did you always want to do comedy, or did you go to college to study something else, or?
Well, I wanted to do business. That's why I was doing like cell phone. I had part ownership in cell phone stores that I would have to drive to, and then I lost all my money, and then I moved back in with my parents, and then that's when I started comedy. And I was like, that's, it's always at a turning point,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to try this. I sold a cell phone to a comedian, and then I started.
Do you remember which comedian it was?
Mm-hmm. His name was Steve Brewer.
Oh.
He's still out of like Michigan now. He just does road stuff. But yeah, he's like, yeah, if you want to do it, talk to this guy. I took a comedy class, stand-up comedy class, where I learned.
You took a class.
Mm-hmm. So I started because I didn't know how to get started, especially in Michigan. Where do you go? A website? No, Facebook was like I barely even touched it at the time. It was still newer.
Wow.
Who do you call? What do you look up? So I was like, oh, how do I do it? And he's like, go to a comedy class. Then they set you up, man, especially because it's such an intimidating thing to start. People talk so much shit about comedy classes or how people started as if it's like you need a superhero origin story. Get the hell out of my face. I think comedy class was the best way for me to start, because I think a lot of comedians have a very, very fragile ego, and they're very, insecure people and things like that. So when I started comedy, I got a guy telling me, good job, try it this way, and then I got a show where it was 150 people that were all like cheering you on to do well, because it was everyone's friends and family from the class. So it was like you got a good experience out the gate, And then you
Oh.
can always, that's my one solace. And anytime I did an open mic and it was just like, oh, you're awful, I would look back at the first show I did or the second show I did and be like, okay, I'm good at this. I can do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. See, I started with classes, but like with improv and sketch. And then I never did stand-up classes, but I just kind of thought, oh, I'll try this. But
yeah, you got in, at least got in and you learned about it before you jumped in. I mean, you probably knew what stand-up took. Like, oh, you got to do open mics, you got to do this, you got to do that. I had no knowledge of it, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and then just the comedy community in Chicago is kind of small. Like, there's a bunch of people I already knew but didn't realize that they did stand-up. You know, like I met Shannon at a party like a year before, you know, I was doing stand-up, and, you know, there's other people I knew randomly.
Shannon.
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, so, like, there's other random people that I'd seen throughout, the people that do both, like, improv, sketch, and stand-up and all that.
Okay.
So. But, yeah, it's different. I think it's very different from improv and sketch because improv and sketch, it's like, oh, you do a show together and you're like best friends and like you all hang out and you get beers and it's very social. Stand up when you're doing open mics, like nobody talks to you for the first like 3 or 4 months until they realize that you're serious.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like, especially if you're starting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
Maybe that's an exaggeration. It's such a big contrast, I think, from when you know.
There's part of improv and sketch, I think, is like, hey, let's all pretend everything's okay, right? You know what I mean? Like, let's all pretend we're all really doing well for ourselves, right? A little bit. Like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I hate that person. Doesn't matter. We have to be this certain way. And that's one thing is that because it's more of a community thing, you perform with people. You have shows where you want people to come, and those people are also involved in sketch or improv, so you hope they come. So in order for them to come, you've got to go to theirs. In order for them to want to come, you kind of got to be nice to them. So you got to be a little bit nice, even if you're having a bad day. Okay, today's a bad day, but I got to kind of be like, wow, tell me about you, you know. And there's that part of it that attracted me so much to it. When I started, like when I first came here, I'm like, oh my God, everyone's so nice, it's so friendly. And then I just wouldn't get off as much on it as I would with stand up. And I know that's a horrible word.
No,
I'm trying to phrase
no, it's not. No, I agree, because like when you're whenever I did sketch or improv and the audience could laugh and be like, oh, okay, it's funny because it was in the moment, it was the group got the laugh. But when you're up there by yourself, there's nobody else that you can attribute. Like, that's you. Right. That's only you. And you can't put that, you're like, oh, I made everybody laugh. And then when it does well, when you kill, it just gives you such a high.
It does give you high. And there's not even because, oh my God, those people are laughing because of me. It's because you made, like, every time I write a joke that I'm proud of, I basically, like, I turn it, it's like a baby you just made. It's a thing you just made. And when they laugh at it, what they're saying is, what you did, this, we love this. I don't necessarily point it toward myself. Like, you like me. I don't even care as much as I'm like, you like that thing I did? And that's what I look, the satisfaction of that. Except that's the thing is when I did it with, I don't know, because when I did it with sketch, when I did that sketch show, I would write a few sketches that I loved. But just being a part of a sketch was just not, ugh.
Yeah.
Writing one and doing it and directing it and having the direction of it go the way you want it to. That's fun. That was good, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Like, that's why, like, I have that little thing where we write a few sketches a month and do it, you know, and it's just like a monthly thing to keep the gears going, but it's, I don't know, it's just not the same as stand-up. Stand-up, the nice thing is, if I have something new, a new idea, and I want to work out, I can get up, you know, as many times as I want, you know, in the week to just work it out. With sketch, you have to plan rehearsals, everyone's 8 people's schedules have to coordinate, and then it's like, oh, if they're talented, they're going to be casting other shit. And, like, that's initially how I started. I was, like, so frustrated because I was part of all these great groups, but then we kept falling apart after, like, a run at Donnie's Skybox or a run at the playground or somewhere else, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I want to be able to perform every night, and I just Googled the closest open mic, and I went to it, and then...
Yeah. That's good.
Kind of never looked back. I don't know.
That's the thing. It's just, you're right. Having a lot of people having it, like, I was never a kid that wanted, I needed time to myself a lot as a kid and in general.
here we had a little bit of technical difficulties, so for those watching, the video will just be still from this point on. There's about 5 minutes left in the show.
Yeah,
sorry
guys.
At
the end or whatever.
Yeah, I had like 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes left, so it's not that much longer. So.
Oh shoot! Okay.
So it was like.
How long is the episode? 45?
Like 40.
40
yeah,
minutes?
40.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I have like a timer that goes off at 35.
I gotta start asking that. Whenever I do podcasts, I always just over assume, like I assume over the amount.
Yeah.
And I end up paying too much for my parking.
Oh man, I could have given you a parking pass. I didn't think of that.
No, don't worry.
No.
$2.50 versus $2. Don't worry.
Yeah, sorry, video watchers. We'll just I'll just put like a still picture and just have that as the end. That'll be fine. But
cool.
So let's see what else. I had a couple of real sleep related questions for you.
Oh shoot, yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
No,
too much.
no. I like it's all right. I like it when it goes organically somewhere else. It's cool.
Cool.
What is your favorite thing to do in bed?
Come on.
My mom asked me. She's like, on your next podcast, you should ask this. And I was like,
absolutely.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh my god. Obviously. It's eating Oreos and reading the news. While I'm having sex with girls. I do all those
Plural.
things at once. Oh yeah. No way. I can't. I fuck up every threesome I try and get into. I've made it to I saw the finish line. I saw it almost happening every time.
What?
Never.
Really?
And one of my friends is like, oh, really, dude? Your biggest complaint is that you almost have threesomes? Like, you're almost there? I'm like, yeah. Because I'd rather just not. Because if you threesomes are either everyone, either all of it happens or nothing happens at all. There's no consolation prize to starting it, like not completing a threesome. You either get a threesome or nothing happens and you end up going shit.
Like, did you at least like make out with the 3 people and then like
yeah every time it seemed swimmingly. I think each time there was one person that was like half in, and then when they feel, I think when they see, that's always what it is. I think one person always freaks out.
So then what happens? You end up just hooking up with the one person?
I shove both my thumbs up their butts. That's the first thing I do. And I'm like, who's got 2 thumbs and is ready to have a threesome? And then I just go, this guy. And it's just really, really great times. No, I'm sorry. What did you ask me?
And I forgot. I think, I asked you if, what, would you end up hooking up with just the one, or?
That's the thing. Yes, that happens. Yes, it happened before. But most of the time, it's like, okay, well, all or nothing. Mm-hmm. That's it. So, no, I would say about 20% of the time, 25% of the time, yes. It was resulted in one person being, all right, well, then you can leave, Most of the time,
that's awkward.
Most of the time, they know each other. So it's not like she's going to be like, oh, you're not comfortable with this? Well, can you go please wait in the hall? You know?
I think that's the thing. Some girls try to be like, oh, like flirty. Oh, this is fun if you like make out. And they don't want to go beyond that if they're already friends. But
that's okay. It's not like I get mad. It's not like I'm like, you promised with your body language. But I think some people have fun to a certain point, and then you can be like, okay, I didn't, I assumed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's okay. That's what I'm like, no big deal. Let's watch real sports with Brian Gobble.
That'll put her to sleep, right?
That's my Cosby method. Put on sports and then wait till you're just in your deep REM.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Oh yeah, one other thing. I know we didn't talk about like your night dreams usually, but like what are your dreams overall, like aspirations, dreams, metaphorically?
Oh, metaphor dreams?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't mean like dreams you have at night. I meant like dreams for your life.
Future.
Yeah.
Shit. I want to travel a lot to different places doing stand-up as a full-time, like excited about it. Like, oh, I'm getting to do this festival. I'm doing and getting paid money to do it. Like, I don't need to be on TV. I don't need to do anything but be just a comic comic people want to watch and have a reason to go see. Cool. That's it, man. It's a simple goal. It's too broad right now, so I have short-term goals out there, but I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know which one I'm pursuing most.
Any specific place that you want to perform?
Oh yeah, the Comedy Cellar in New York.
Yeah,
without a doubt, that's going to be a big day for me if I get a spot there ever. just because I have so much crazy respect for every comic that goes that performs there on a regular basis. All those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I snuck into one show when I was in New York. I was like, I was supposed to meet John, and she's like, what? I'm like, downstairs. I was supposed to, so I just went down the server entrance, and then I stood by the door. And I'm like, wow, I was just told to wait here, and I just watched half the show, just waiting there.
But don't they usually let comics in free anyways?
No, I don't know. Maybe it was in the middle of a show, and it was fucking packed. It was insanely packed. I mean, I was a comic, and I was visiting New York, but I was just.
Yeah.
The show was already going on. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been there yet, but I went to Comedy Store in LA, and that was really cool to see that.
Yeah, I saw you did Kill Tony, right?
Yeah, that was cool. I had no idea what it was at the time. I was like,
oh, really?
I was like, they signed up for the mic, and then I didn't get drawn for the mic, so they're like, oh, try to sign up for Kill Tony, and so I did, and I was like the second or third name drawn, and that was super fun. But anyways, do you have anything upcoming you want to plug?
No, not at all. Just every Wednesday at Laugh Factory, yo.
Every Wednesday at Laugh Factory. Cool.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for doing this podcast.
No problem.
It's a little weird. I know you didn't realize that you were actually going to be laying in the bed.
I didn't know. It's okay. I'm sorry if it's okay. I feel like laying down and talking is hard for me to do, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. So that's why I sat up.
Oh, no, that makes sense. So when you lay down, you just want to go to sleep and not...
Yeah, you know? I don't know. I guess I've always been that way. Ever since I was a little boy.
Not much of a pillow talker, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No?
I can sit up and talk all day, though.
All right, cool.
Well, I wanted to drink my coffee, that's all.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for doing the show.
No problem.
I'm Sarah Albritton, and thanks for listening to Sleeping with Sarah, where I slept with Jeff Arcuri. You can catch Jeff every week at Supply and Demand at the Laugh Factory at 8 p.m. I'm releasing a new podcast each week. Be sure to tune in to find out who I have in bed with me next. Thanks to Josh Bryant for the music. You can also follow me on Twitter at Sarah Albritton. Until next time, good night.
Sleeping with Sarah.